So, with hotels closing and restaurants closing, it is the 31st of October and we are at the official end of the summer holiday season for 2025. So I thought I'd bring you for a quick look around the far end of Palmanova. I'm down here on Palmanova Beach. We're going to loop around the resort here, going down towards Son Matias Beach. So in the meantime, let's turn the camera around and let's check out Palmanova today. So the first thing I've had to do is put my hat and sunglasses on. We've got highs today of 24 degrees Celsius and you can see that we still have people on the beach over here. But numbers are dwindling and I suspect that Palma Airport today is going to be very, very busy on this final day of the summer season. So we're seeing across the resorts now sun umbrellas being removed, we're seeing sunbeds being removed. Normally over here in Palmanova things tend to stay open just a little bit longer into November, but we shall talk about that as we head on through this video. But anyway, let's head on in the direction of Paradise Beach. Now just looking over at the Il Tringo, it's looking quite busy today. Palmanova Beach though is looking a sad sight. It's being returned to winter. Many of the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas have gone. Let's head on around the back of the resort. Just heading on in the direction of Paradise Beach. Look, you can see that they're going to be packing up soon. But let's take a quick walk around to an area which, well, I'm hoping a couple of bars around here are going to be open on into November. So we can see the guys over here in Reflex, they've had their last night. I can just see they're packing up their bar. Il Tano looks a little bit empty. Castaways, however, is open. It does have people in it, but as you can see, Banana Joe's is very much wrapped up for winter already. This may well be worth bearing in mind if you're booking for next year. If you do come over in October, it can be a little bit hit and miss as to what is open. You would have seen my previous videos about this, and well, not everything can stay open during the month of October because of course numbers do drop. And for many places, it just isn't worth staying open right until the end of the season. Anyway, let's take a walk down the back here of the Zell Hotel. Let's just see what it's like today. Now you can see that we've got clouds bubbling in over the resort. It's a little bit cloudy today. I was hoping for clear and broken sunshine, but it's nice to see that we still have some places open. There is plenty going on today. It does really feel like the last gasp of summer. That may well have to be the title of this video, but as you can see, we can see lots of businesses down this side of the resort holding out until the end. But keep on following the channel as we head on through the winter, because I will be helping you prepare for your summer holiday for 2026. There's going to be plenty of information coming out, plus I'm going to have live streams from popular resorts as well, see what Mallorca is like in winter. But anyway, let's keep heading along down the back of the resort here, and we are running parallel to the main beach. I think this is the emptiest we've seen Taylor's this summer. Looks like they're also packing up. Don't forget Munro's just across the road here. Fantastic karaoke bar. Saw some great nights over there this summer too, but like I said, a few places will be hanging on, and we can see that, look, Delicious down the back here, they are still open. And just to give you a very quick location check, I'm right outside the park. During the hot summer months, we normally have kids' fairground rides down here too, and this is right behind the Sol Palmanova Hotel. I guess they're going to be drawing the curtains on this hotel now if they haven't done so already. I'm guessing most people have left, and I'm guessing it's also closed. Anyway, let's keep on the heading down around the back. So just up by the back of the Chinese here on the waterfront in Palmanova, this is a huge restaurant which normally does stay open a little bit later on into the season, but also I have a big question mark hanging over this cafe here. This is Diana's Gran Cafe, and this has been closed for absolutely years. Are we going to see this open in 2026? Well, quite possibly. It's a great opportunity to open down here, but I'm pretty sure somebody will take on that premises. If you know anything about it, let me know in the comments. Just coming up past Irocco here, look, you can see they've got the awnings down. We do have a little bit of wind today, but they are advertising live music tonight on the 31st of October. I can see that local resident Albie Davis is playing here, which looks fantastic. And just checking out the Three Brothers pub here, which is, as it always is, rather busy for the final day this season. So the shutters will be coming down on many of these shops here, and some of them for the final time too. Look, you can see some have already closed up. But let's head on down the back of the Son Matias Beach Hotel and go and check that out. Now, this is the one hotel in Palmanova I do know of that isn't closing today. They are hanging out until the 2nd of November. If you do book a late stay here, make sure you do book half board, because like I said, many places will be closing today and it's going to be hard to guarantee an evening meal nearby. Okay, so guess where I've come up to this afternoon? Yes, I've come into the Son Matias Beach Hotel. You may well remember I made a couple of videos from over here last year. If you want to see what they look like before you book, check out the links in the description text below. But let's get a few final views from here before the hotel closes on the 3rd of November. In fact, I think the final night here is on the 2nd of November, and they're going to be opening up again on the 13th of March 2026. But let's check out the views from here. So many of you will know, if you've stayed on this side of the hotel, just what it's like over here. I'm just going to pan the camera around so that you can still see there are plenty of people in the pool at this time of year, but looking on in the direction of Magaluf and Torrenova. Let me just zoom in ever so slightly. Look, you can see just how lovely it is down here today, even though we are sadly at the end of the season. And just to give you a better idea as well of what the beach is like today. And look, we can see people are in the sea and swimming. It looks more like the Caribbean than it does Mallorca, but this is one of the big advantages of holidaying over here in this resort. Just check out the sea colour. Anyway, let's continue with our walk today. And as I come down the side here of the Son Matias Beach Hotel, we're coming by the little kiosk here, the really good value kiosk, which I hope is going to be back next year. You can see they're scrubbing out the awnings. It is closed for the last day of the season, but hoping it will be back next year. And just taking a look to my right here, look, one of many restaurants that may well be closing down today. Just coming up by the grill house here, look, they've got their fences up already. The shutdown continues. One place doesn't look like it's closing down today. Look, there's this little restaurant round the back. We're going to take a look at the front of Son Matias Beach in just a moment. Stick with me. But you can see the huge number of restaurants and bars and cafes that we have in the resort here. Across the road we've got Pablo's Family Foods. The awnings are down. Now I can see people inside, but it is not looking open at all. But it is a different story over at the Florida. Look, it's absolutely packed. I've got a €14.50 menu del dia. It's packed with people. Anyway, let's head on round to the beach. So we're just coming down the back of Fernando's here. You see the Britannia jet as well coming in to Son Matias Beach. At which point, let's head on down there. Now, I will also be back to make a video all about what's going on in Magaluf as well. Just to give you a quick sneak peek, we can see some signs up on the hotel Tage. Is this the last time we're going to be seeing it before demolition starts? Well, I will be back, like I said, with more information. But for the time being, we've got EastEnders open, we've got the Prince William open. And so I'll let you know more about these bars over here if you are hoping to come on over during the winter. But look, just heading down the back of the resort here, most things are closed, the shops are still open. Should we take a wander down to Son Matias Beach? Let's go and do that. And just coming up around the side of the Comodoro Playa Hotel here, look, you can see the Britannia jet making its penultimate trip here to the far side of Son Matias Beach. This sightseeing boat will not be running now for the rest of the year. It'll be back, I think, is it next April or May? I'll find out for you. And as we come on around the side of the Comodoro Playa down to Son Matias Beach, we can just see it heading out on its way. There is one more sailing today, which is at about 3 o'clock-ish, I think it's 3:15-ish. And there are a couple of pickup points over here in Palmanova, as you do know. Looks like it's on its way, look, to the Palmanova Beach jetty, which is just a little bit further along. But my goodness me, look at Son Matias Beach today in October, right at the very end of the summer season, on the 31st of October. So don't forget to check back on my videos from throughout the year, depending on when you're hoping to come over here to Mallorca on holiday to see what to expect. Let's head on now down along the beach. So this beach is going to look very, very different in the coming weeks. And wow, look at this, look, the Zen is still very much open over here. Got nice amounts of people in, really nice music playing. And for the first time in this video actually, it still feels a little bit summery. So well done to the Zen. It's giving some summer vibes over here in Palmanova. And just as well too, because look, we can see the Calvia Beach House is already closed. Pepe's as well, look, still open until the end of the season. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that Pepe's is open for some of the winter too. Just coming up by the beach house, that is open. But as we head on in the direction of the Olive Tree, it is their final day today. They are closing today. I can see a sign up ahead. I know they have also plenty of bookings today. Look, closing. Thank you for your support in 2025. We'll see you in 2026, and we shall do as well. Do you know what? They also have 50% off all the food today as well until they sell out. Probably explains why they are so busy today. Now, one question I do have is about Origin Bar here, and you may remember last year they had the Christmas domes on the run-up to Christmas. Will those be opening again? Well, we shall find out. Keep watching the channel in case you are over here during the winter season. And I'm just going to pan the camera around here, look, just give you some nice views of Son Matias Beach. And what do we have leaving the beach today? Look, the pedalos are being collected one by one. What a sad sight. So let's keep walking along a very quiet promenade here, but with the final rays of summer in front of me. Now, that's not to say we're going to see the last of the sunshine over here, because I suspect we're actually going to have quite a nice November. I would not be surprised if we had some absolutely lovely weather in November, particularly in regards to the weather that we had in October. It often works that way, we shall see. And just looking over at the lifeguard hut here, look, this is also the last day for lifeguard service here on the beaches around Mallorca. If you are coming over with kids, if you're visiting your holiday home in November, bear in mind that the beaches will not be patrolled, so do take care if you're going onto the beaches and you're going out swimming. So last day for those guys too. And we are coming up to Siso Beach here, quite possibly one of their last days too. They don't always close on the 31st. I suspect they may well be open for a few more days. So as I come past Siso, well, they do have an unusual taste in music today, gotta say. A little bit old-fashioned, but then again, maybe check out the music in the other restaurants a little bit further back. But look, we are seeing the gradual dismantling of the beach beds and the sun umbrellas over here on the far side of Son Matias Beach. and the access boards are being pulled up as well. It's a shame they don't leave some of these out actually over the winter months, at least on one beach. Like I said, we still have people coming over here. We still have residents as well wanting to access the beach. But look at all the sun umbrellas here lined up and the beach umbrellas ready to take away. And off go some more beach umbrellas. Just coming up by Turtle Beach here. This is one place that's going to try and stay open into November. They're going to be closing around the 9th of November. Okay, so Jill is still open at the Mr. Whippy ice cream shop, and we are just coming down now the Santa Lucia Hotel for the final time in summer 2025 when it is going to be open. It is closing today as well. We have the final guests in the property. Tell you what, you're not going to have a problem finding a sunbed at the very end of the summer season, that's for sure. Look, even though we see some of the pedalos being taken away today, look, a few have been left out and rented. And the paddle boards too. I guess they're easier to remove off the beach. But look, the last guests here over at the Santa Lucia. And we'll soon see these sunbeds being taken away. They've already taken some of the foamy mattresses off the sunbeds for now. Starting to clear up the hotel a little bit. But just looking down the beach here, look, just turning around and looking down the beach. It's still looking pretty nice. And you'd never think that this was the end of October and the end of the summer season here in Mallorca. And just to give you some lovely sunny views here of Palmanova Beach. And look, and how clear the water is today. You can see a little bit of wind on the water. That wind is picking up. But what a gorgeous day for the end of the season. And as we come on down to the beach this afternoon, look, you can see that the clear up hasn't quite started over here. I know they've cleared away many of the sunbeds, just looking a little bit further ahead, as indeed will be the case over on Escargador Beach too. And look, you'll just see where I've come up to now. I'm around at the front of the Chinese restaurant that we saw earlier on in this video. Looking just over at the Diner Beach Club, you can see this is quite a huge place, and well, it has already closed up for the summer. The awnings are down. And we see Barbuda Beach as well. Look, it's all wrapped up for winter, waiting to open again for the summer season. And just coming up to Rogers, I've just popped in and asked, and they are also closing up today. My goodness me, look, here's a reminder of the lovely views that you would have had during the summer from Rogers. And I suspect too as well, we're on the final day over here in Besso Beach. And we're right back where I started. Okay everyone, so that was a quick look at Palmanova on the final day of the summer season for 2025. Now I will be having more content coming out in the winter, taking a wider look at the island, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook and on the Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun, and I'm going to drop a couple of videos from the summer just to remind you what it was like appearing both here and here on YouTube. Okay everyone, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back here soon in Palmanova, but in the meantime I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.